do you feel if your child hits someone or shouts at them? If we hit and shout at children ourselves, do we really teach them good behavior, or do we, by our own example, teach them bullying? Let's look at a definition of bullying. Bullying involves acts of aggression, which are intentional, repeated, and occur in a context in which there's an imbalance of power, where the perpetrator has more power than the victim. So intentional, repeated, and unequal power between the perpetrator and the victim. If an adult hits a child as punishment, does that fit our definition of bullying? Let's have a look. It's definitely aggressive. It's intentional, yes. It's repeated every time the child exhibits that challenging behavior. And yes, there's unequal power. The parent has more power and the child has less. We just ticked all the boxes to define this as bullying. Is unequal power the problem? Should a home be a democracy? Should children have the same amount of power as adults? Actually, no. Parents do have more power than children. And that's a good thing, because babies and young children and even older children still need our protection and guidance. As parents and teachers, we hold the bigger picture. The problem is not that adults have more power. The problem is how we use that power. A concept from a paper by Lee and Julian is helpful here: the developmental relationship. In a developmental relationship, the power shifts gradually from the adult to the child as the child is more and more able to manage that responsibility and power. When the child is a baby, the parent holds most of the power and responsibility. But as the child grows and develops, parents hand over more and more of power, more and more of that responsibility. The important thing is that they hand it over as the child shows that they are able to manage it. So how should parents and teachers use their unequal power? We should use it to scaffold child development. Think of a house or another building. As it's being built, it's often surrounded by scaffolding. But as parts of that house or building are completed, the scaffolding is no longer needed and is taken away. So too, there are things which a child cannot do without our help. And we scaffold their development by being there for them and supporting them in the way that they need at the time that they need it. As they get more competent at certain skills, they will no longer need our help in those areas. A good way to think of this is to picture that you're teaching your child to ride a bike. Think of how in the beginning they need you to hold onto the bike, probably run alongside them, give lots of reassurance, guidance. But after a while, they will gain confidence and be able to pedal and balance by themselves. And at that point, you'll find yourself letting go of the bicycle and letting them ride on their own. So when we think of discipline, let's not think about it as punishment. Let's think about it as the support that children need to do better. To find out more, visit our website on www.peacediscipline.com or subscribe to this channel. That's all for now. Thanks.